somebody really out here telling you that you need to be at a certain point in your life and that's okay. Mic check, mic check. But what it do, YouTube? We're back at it. I felt very, very led to make this video today. Cause man, oh man, is this thing just becoming more and more prominent nowadays, especially with social media and comparison being such a big thing. I don't know what it is. Well, we do know what it is, but it's just crazy, that there's just so many people going through this same, challenge of feeling like they need to have their whole life figured out, and they're literally just like me in their 20s. And it didn't really click for me until this past September, when I was in college, where essentially I had the biggest realization where it's true that you really don't need to have it all figured out. Like, literally, for me personally, there was a lot that I missed out on in high school as a teenager. And it was already one thing to be spending majority of your time in school, and then the other time, like while you're at home, doing homework, having time for dinner, shower and sleep, and then repeat the next day. And like, I was doing that for years. And even when it came to summer vacation, like, I wasn't spending my summer vacations kind of like how other teenagers were, when school was out, and chilling out with the homies, whatever. Like, I wasn't really, partaking in that. And that's a whole other story, because it wasn't even really, by choice. But point is, once I became like an adult by law, like 18, and that was during the whole like COVID business. But even after that, being in my early 20s, like, I made it an obligation to really have a lot of fun during my early 20s as like a young adult, because I just didn't have so many memories to look back on during my teenage years. And so if you're even thinking about the simple aspect of like, school as a whole, but like specifically high school, like high school is that point where it's like, oh wow, like things are getting serious. Like, these next 4 years are supposed to pave the way for my future, because you know how it'll be once you graduate from grade 12 or like senior year, they push you right into a next institution, whether that be college or university. And then after you're done that, you're expected to just boom, catapult right into the full-time working life, where I know some people also end up getting their master's and their PhD, but point is, like, it's school, job. And that'd be a little crazy because it puts so much pressure, especially on us as teenagers in high school, because there's so much you're already trying to figure out as a teenager. Looking back on it, there was so much about myself that I did not know. And obviously things had to be that way in order for me to be who I am today and just presently as a whole. But it's just crazy. And then, there's also that other aspect that you got to consider, where it's just like, things transpire that way for a lot of us, because that is just the social programming and the overall societal expectations in order to be approved by many, and it's just beyond me, because now it's kind of getting a little crazy where people are kind of feeling like the pressure of life is really getting to them, and they're literally like approaching mid 20s. And personally, I feel like that's not even them talking, because who told them that they were old? Who told them that that was an age to really start feeling that way about yourself? Like, it's just beyond me. Like, people in their mid 20s are now starting to feel old and are also feeling like they need to have everything figured out. There is so much you are still learning about yourself in your 20s. Like, your brain isn't even fully developed yet. Like, you literally finished high school. You may have already finished university or post-secondary. And even if you were doing your master's right after your undergrad, like, that's still, like, it's still time after time after time where, like, you've just been so focused and so concentrated on something, like, outside of yourself. And this is not to say that, like, obviously people who are following their passion and, like, getting the education that they need in order to, like, pursue that passion, like, I get that, but, like, that's just so external. It's still external in a sense. And there's so much more to yourself than just what you want to do in life in terms of, like, career and, like, just how you want to go and make money out there. Like, there is so much more into it because, excuse me, like, there's just so much more to you. Like, there's so much more you're learning about yourself beyond just, your interests. Like, there's also just, of course, like, that healing aspect and just that deeper depth of discovery as you're just going through the motions of your day-to-day life, and you are ultimately having the experience of what you prefer versus what you don't prefer. And that's why for me, like, it's literally just mind-blowing when I'm hearing people at this age where they obviously don't have everything figured out, but, like, somebody's telling them that they need to have it figured out just because somebody else said that they should be having it figured out by now. And it's just like, if you continue listening to society and you continue absorbing what it would take to get other people's approval, like, you are literally living for somebody else. You're not living for yourself at that point if you're just trying to fit in and just do the norm and do what everybody else is doing. Like, live life for you. Like, somebody really out here telling you that you need to be at a certain point in your life, and that's okay. Like, I don't know. And like I said, like, I recently had this, like, deep realization a couple months ago. And that was just because it was brought to my attention by somebody else. And I was just there like, wow, like, that's true. Like, that wasn't even really me talking. Like, cause why did I feel like I needed to have it all figured out? And full transparency here, like, I'm 22 years young. So can you believe that? And where I was at with believing that back then was because, of course, once again, people my age are already done doing their undergrad, or they are already looking for a full-time job, or they're now, like, pursuing their master's or, like, doing another program. Like, and I wholeheartedly absorbed that because, once again, like, comparison is truly the thief of joy. And it's just, I don't know, man. You don't need to achieve everything before 30. And, like, there's literally no race. Like, literally, we just keep aligning ourselves so much with time. And it's all an illusion. Like, literally, it's all an illusion. And the more you absorb yourself and get wrapped up in time, like, the less you're just feeling present. The less you'll be present, because it's just always the, oh yeah, like, I need to achieve this, I gotta have this figured out. But it's like, you may be here, but you're not here. But we gotta realize, like, there's literally nothing wrong with not knowing 100% what you're trying to do in your 20s. Like, there's also just that aspect of people just merely having as much fun as they can, doing their traveling, doing their hobby thing, doing their working thing, doing their school thing during the 20s. Like, because yeah, those are just your early years as an adult. Social media would be really doing its number on people, because it's insane. It's really insane. Like, literally, like, truly speaking, like, there is literally no rush. There is no need to have everything figured out and knowing exactly what you're about to be doing with your life, or for the rest of your life, that is. And at the same time, like, even if you did have it figured out right now, life happens, things change, you change. When I graduated from high school, I told myself that, hey, I was gonna pursue an undergrad in biology and then go to medical school and become a pediatric doctor. Let me just put a disclaimer out there that actually wasn't even like my desire. But once again, at that age, you're so malleable to other people's opinions and just that social programming as a whole, and you go that route instead of choosing your own route, or, not feeling pressured to do what others are expecting of you. But that's what I did. And as soon as I got into university and I was studying, I told myself, I'm like, I don't really like this. I don't really like how this is going. And, me and my whole sunk cost fallacy mindset, which is a video I'll be doing on sometime in the future too, because that is also another topic of its own, and how much that really robs you of your actual desire with the direction you want to take with your life. But I decided, you know what? I don't want to become a doctor anymore. What else can I do with this degree? And so I was like, you know what? Even though I want to be a pediatric doctor, I can still graduate with this degree and become a science teacher, like a high school science teacher. And I'd still be working with kids, because I had like a huge passion for working with kids. So that's why, from being a pediatric doctor, I was like, you know what? I can be a science teacher at the high school level. And, even with that, I was 3 years into my program when I decided that I wasn't going to pursue the degree at all, because once again, like, you're just really out, or rather, I was just under that pressure, and I was putting that expectation on myself that I just needed to, make use of the degree and, like, have a socially acceptable job in a field. And that would have been like education. And it wasn't even deep down what I wanted to do. But once again, it's just that pressure, like, like, everybody's got to be out here doing something for themselves. And like, school is only just like a system that generates the next people in line to fill the existing roles that are very highly accepted by society. So all that to say, like, I went into that thinking that that was so concrete for my life, and things changed. And there are even people in their 30s, in their 40s, who end up changing their life at any point, because it's not always just like this, where you write the whole plan out and it just like transpires 100% bar for bar, word for word, how you initially envisioned it. Like, you're changing every single day, and your life can change at any single point. And there are certain experiences that you're going to have, certain realizations you're going to have in order to get a new sense of direction with your life, and to just be real with yourself and understand that you are just consistently changing in every single moment. I am not the same person I was 15 minutes ago when I started this video. Like, simple as that. So it's just like, I don't know, man, like social media really do be doing its thing with having people think that like they're behind, or there's just something else that they should be doing aside from what they are doing right now. And it's just like, bro, everybody is where they need to be. Like, there are no accidents right now with whoever. Excuse me, that is just the way how our story is always like unfolding. So it's just crazy to me that, like, you know, people are even starting to pull the I feel old card, or like, oh my gosh, like, I'm 25, like, that's a quarter of a century. Like, chill out, chill out, chill out. Like, you are so young. And I also do get it in the aspect where, like, you know, a lot of people, they're just like mentally advanced. Oop, my foot's falling asleep. But they're just very mentally advanced. And for example, for me, there are just a lot of things that I think about at age 22. And like, I know a lot of people my age aren't thinking about these kind of things, or like having these kind of discussions with other people. And so I get that, where sometimes you kind of compare like your age with your mentality, and you're just like I'm really ahead here, you know? Like, the maturity is a lot higher than the people around me, type thing. And that's also, I guess, another reason why I felt pretty pressured to have my life figured out at 22. Could you believe it? At 22. At 22, I was really thinking that I had to have the whole thing figured out. Like, it's actually pretty funny reflecting back, and I'm just like, really? Like, society was really talking through me for that one. Like, for real. But truly, it all just boils down to the fact that, like, my homies, you are overthinking it. You are overthinking it. Literally, like, take it day by day. And if you can't take it day by day, take it week by week. Like, so much can change for you within like 4 weeks within its own, you know? But it all really is just societal expectations, and like just what society wants to see you doing. And like, if you're not doing it the way how everybody else is doing it, then like you're doing it wrong. And like, that's where I, you know, respectfully like branch off with that. Like, if you think that I'm really not where I'm supposed to be, like, why would I ever want to argue or prove anything to you about my life? Like, I'm literally the one living it. Like, literally, like, we just gotta recenter ourselves and bring ourselves back to the fact that there is time. And there's no rush. There's literally no rush. We just live in a world where a lot of thought and a lot of, what's the word? Let's just go with the word thought. A lot of thought has been put into us feeling that way. Like, there was a lot of conditioning and programming that went into us, like, really feeling that there was any need to just be in a race and finish things from A to B. That's why when I really sat down and I thought about, like, the educational system as a whole, where, you know, elementary school, middle school, high school, and right after high school, you need to make a decision and get your booty into either college or university or trade school, whatever's gonna get you into that career next. And right from the get-go, you know, you're in your early 20s now, expected to work a full-time job until you're 60 something and retire. You need some time to live life for yourself. You need some time to just really live life your way. We all deserve that, honestly. Instead of, you know, all this social programming dictating to us what to do, just because that's just the only way how we will be seen as doing the right thing, or, you know, just overall doing the most accepted ways of living by society. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. But truly, like, I said it once and I'll say it again, like, comparison is the thief of joy. Do not be out here eyeing this person, eyeing that person, and with where they are in their life. Their life is their life and it's going the way how it's supposed to. And there is no mistake with where you are. So regardless, whatever you're doing in life, like, just flow with that. Just rock with that. Things can change at any point. But then again, you're always changing every day. So, yeah. I feel like that's all my thoughts on this. But yeah, I just really felt led to make this video because I was just like, you know, we really need to have a discussion about this because social media really be making y'all feel older than you actually are. Like, I don't know who started the whole, like, mid-20s thing is old, like, but they're doing a little too much with that. So if you need to hear the message that you are literally perfectly fine and that your life is literally perfect, here it is. Because I know we get in our head a lot because, like, it's our life, you know, and we just always want to be reassured that we're just making the right steps and the right choices. But trust, baby, you are where you are always needing to be. That's all from me. We got the 7 weeks old starter locks. Yeah. Little shake. Stiff wear. Can't wait till they drop. Or, like, you know, mature, whatever. Anywho's, that is all from me. I will see y'all in the next video. But until then, if you are loving what we got going on, I invite you to join the family by subscribing. And I also have my socials linked in the description, so you can also keep up with me on other platforms. But until the next video, peace and love. Peace and love. See y'all.